Hi students, welcome to the class. So in the last class I solved the example and exercise, right? That is 2A. So now we are going to the next part of this class. So we have advanced questions with a different variety of application of compound interest. So that we're going to see. So let me start with the example questions itself. Okay. So example questions. Example 5. You can refer page number 30. Example 5. Okay. So that says calculate the difference between compound interest and simple interest on 4,000 at 8% per annum in 2 years. So I need to find SI separately and CI separately, then find the difference between them. Okay. So simple interest will calculate first because simple interest is always easy to calculate. What is the formula for simple interest? Simple interest is PRT by 100. Okay, so here principal is 4,000 and rate of interest is 8% by 100 and number of years is 2. So we are going to calculate directly. It's going to be 640 rupees. Okay, 1640 is 640 rupees. This is the total simple interest for the entire 2 years duration. Okay, whereas compound interest we cannot calculate directly for 2 years. We should calculate one by one, right? So for the first year, the compound interest 1 will be P1RT by 100. So P1 is 4,000 and 8% per annum and 1 will be first year, that's 1. Okay, so when we solve this, we end up with 320 rupees. Okay, the compound interest for the second year CI2 and P2 will be what? P2 will be equal to the compound amount for the second year, which is going to be, we have compound interest amount for the first year, that is going to be 4,000 plus 320, which is 4320. Okay, so this is going to be our principal for the second one. Okay, RT by 100. Now principal for the second year is 4320 into 8 by 100 into 1. So when we solve this, we get 2 5s are 2, 4s are, so I need to divide by 5. 5 8s are 40, 5 6s are 30 and 0.4. Right? So it is 86.4 into 4. So if you solve that, you'll get 4 8 is a 320. 4 6 are 24 and 0.4 1.6. I end up with 345.6. Okay, so that will be the interest for the second year. Okay, so now I want the total compound interest. The total compound interest is going to be 320 plus 345.6, which is going to be 665.6. That will be the interest. My question is the difference between SI and CI will be what? 665.6 minus 640, that is going to be 25.6. That will be the answer for the question. So that's what they have done. So that's done in the example already. You can check that example also clearly. Okay. Now going to the next question. Mrs. Kapoor invested 6,000 every year at the beginning of the year at 10% per annum compound interest. Calculate the amount of her total savings. So let's see. Example question 6. Okay. Mrs. Kapoor has invested how much? 6,000 every year at the beginning of the year. That means every year she will be investing 6,000. So principal increases by 6,000 other than increasing by interest also. Okay. So 6,000 every year at the beginning of the year at 10% per annum compound interest. Okay. So calculate the amount of her total savings at the up to the end of the second year and at the beginning of the third year, what is the amount she has. So let's see. First, she is investing 6,000 first year. So the compound interest for the first year will be P1RT by 100. Okay, so that is 6,000 into 10 by 100 into 1 year, that will be 600. Okay, the compound amount at the end of the first year will be 600 plus 6,000, which is 6,600. But the principal for the second year will be added by one more 6,000 because she is adding one more 6,000 every year. So plus 6,600, it became 12,600. Okay, let's say compound interest for the second year. Compound interest for the second year is going to be P2 RT by 100. So that is 12,600 into 10 into 1 by 100, which is 1,260. Okay, and the compound amount will be at the end of the second year will be 12,600 plus 1260. This is the first sub question which is asking compound amount, the amount at the end of the second year. That will be 13,860 rupees. Okay. What is the second part? What is the compound interest, compound amount at the end of at the beginning of the third year? So at the beginning of the third year, she is investing. Amount will be, she is investing one more 6,000, no? 6,000 plus 13,860, which is going to be 19,860 rupees. That will be the amount she has at the end, at the beginning of the third year. That is the answer. Okay. So now read 7th question after this. Once you copy this, you can read 7th question. What is 7th question saying? 7th question says Ranbir borrows 20,000 at 12% compound interest. Ranbir borrows 20,000 at 12% compound interest, but he repays 8,400 at the end of the first year. So even the principal increases, he is paying some amount of principal, so that will reduce the principal. And again for the second year, for the first year, and 9,680 at the end of the second year. Second year also is paying something, so principal again reduces. So find the amount of loan outstanding at the beginning of the third year. So let's see. First he invested, he took a loan of 20,000 and that is the initial principal, and the rate of interest is 12% per annum. Okay. First year what happens? In the first year, the interest will be P1 RT by 100. So the 20,000 into 12 by 100 into 1. So 0 cancels. We end up with 2,400 as the interest. Okay. So the amount should have been 22,400. Okay. But the second year he paid already. The principal will be 22,400 minus he paid something. What is the amount he paid? He paid 8,400. So it will become 12,400 only. No, what is that? 14,000 only. 14,000 rupees. This will be the principal for the second year. The compound interest for the second year will be principal 2 into RT by 100. So that is 14,000 into 12 into 1 by 100. So 0 cancels. So we have 1,200 and 480, which is 1,680. That will be the interest for the second year. Okay. So this, that means compound amount at the end of the second year will be our 14,000 plus 1,680, which is 15,680. Okay. But he paid how much at the end of the second year? He paid 9,680. So principal will be 15,680 minus 9,680, which will give you 6,000. Okay. That means amount due at the end of the beginning of the third year. Amount due at the beginning of the third year is actually just 6,000 rupees. Okay, that is a question. So let's go to the next one. So read the 8th question. A man borrows 8,000 rupees at 10% compound interest payable every 6 months. Okay, every 6 months. This is compounding now 6 months. Okay, 10% compound interest. So he is paying 10% per annum, I guess. Yes, 10% per annum interest, but he is paying at every 6 months. So for 6 months, 10% we have to divide it by 2. Period will be not 1 year now. It will be half year. Okay. So, and what is the question? He repays 2,500 at the end of every 6 months. Calculate the third payment he has to make at the end of the 18 months in order to clear the entire loan. So assume that at the end of the third installment, that is 18 months, he will be paying the entire thing. So what is the amount he has to pay? It is very similar to this question. Okay, but it is instead of 1 year, they are talking about 6 months. That's the only difference. Nothing else. Question number 8. A man borrows, what is the amount he is borrowing? 8,000 at 10% per annum compound interest payable every 6 months. So, and he also repays 2,500 at end of 6 months. Okay, so let's see what happens here. So what is the principal here? The principal is 8,000. Rate of interest is 10% per annum compounded for 6 months. We can say compounded semi-annually. That's the same meaning. Semi-annually means 6 months. Okay. Now the question here is, I have this first at the end of the 6 months. After 6 months, what happens? First installment you have to pay, right? First interest you have to pay. So that is P1 RT by 100. Which is P1 is how much now? 8,000. R is 10. But T will be, so R is 10 only. Yes, T will be 1 by 2 into 100. So 0, 0 cancels. 2 ones are 2 40s are. So we end up with 400 interest. Okay, 400 is the interest. But the thing is, the compound amount will be how much now? 8,400. But he repays how much? He repays 2,500. So that means the principal at the end of the second year will be 8,400 minus 2,500, which will give you 6,100, I guess. Right? $5,900 will be there. 5,900. So now, at the end of the 12 months, it will be compound interest will be P2 RT by 100. So the principal is 5,900 into 10 into 1 by 2 into 100 again. 0, 0 cancels. We end up with 5 into 59. 5 50s are 250. 5 9s are 45. That is 295 rupees. Okay. The compound amount will be, at the end of the 12 months, compound amount will be 5,900 plus 295, which is 6,195 rupees. Okay, but now again he repays how much? Repays 2,500. That will make it 6,195 minus 2,500. If he repays, it will be 11 minus 5 6, 5 minus 2 4. So 4,695. So I hope everything is correct. So it's 3,695. Yes, is the amount. Now at the end of the 18 months, what happens is CI3. So CI3 will be the new principal. The new principal is how much? P3 is going to be 3,695. So we go for P3 into RT by 100. So that is 3,695 into 10 into 1 by 2 into 100. So this will be cancelled. 5 ones are, 5 20s are. So we should divide by 2 and put a decimal. That's it. So 2 18s are 36. 3 4s are 8. 2 7s are and 2 5s. So it's 184.75. Yes, 184.75 rupees. That will be the interest we are going to pay. Okay, so that means compound amount at the end of the third year will be, again he paid 2000. No, I mean first we have to see this compound amount. The compound amount is 3,695 plus 184.75. That will be 3789.75. Now if he has to pay the entire amount back at the end of the 18 months, the amount he has to pay is the amount to be paid, amount due at the end of 18 months is 3,789.75. Yes. No, 3,879.75. That will be the answer. So it's anyway explained in the book, in the example. Check that clearly. So let me wind up this. So now we are talking about question number 9. On a certain sum of money invested at the rate of 5% per annum compounded annually, the difference between the interest for the first year and the interest for the second year is 61.5. Find the sum. So here sum is not given. So as it is a percentage question, we will assume the sum as 100 and we will see what is the difference we are getting. And then we will go for the proportional amount for any other. I mean, if it is 100, if we have got something for amount, what amount will get 61.5. Say, if I say for 100 rupees I get 5, for what amount I get 61.5. So when I cross multiply, I'll get the sum. That is the logic we are going to use. Okay, so that is the reason we can assume the sum as 100 and start what happens at this rate of interest. Okay, so they are told 5% per annum. Rate of interest is 5% per annum and difference between SI and CI. At the end of the how many years? Difference between the SI and CI for the first year and the interest of the third year. Okay. Okay. This is CI1 and CI3. That difference they are telling. That is 61.5. So we want to find out exactly what is the sum. So let us assume sum as 100 rupees. Okay. Then what is the CI1? CI1 is P1 R1 by T1 by 100. Okay. So it is compounded annually, right? Yeah. It's compounded annually. So first year it's going to be 100 into 5 by 100 into 1, which will give you 5 rupees as interest. So that is why it's easy to get. Okay. So compound amount will be 105 rupees. Okay. So at the end of the second year, what happens is CI2 will be P2, that is also equal to P2 RT by 100, which is 105 into 5 by 100 into 1. Okay. So this will give you how much? 5.25. Yes. If you solve this, 5 ones are 5 20s are, so 5.25 will be the interest you get. So what is the compound amount at the end of the second year? That will be 105 plus 5.25, which is 110.25. That is also equal to P2, P3 now. Yes. So at the end of the third year, compound interest will be P3 into RT by 100, which is 110.25 into 5 by 100. So 5 ones are 5 20s are. Again same logic. If you divide by 2, 2 5s are 10, 2 5s are 10, and then 1 2 5 you have to go for. Okay. So that is 55.125. No, not 55. It's 5.5125. So it is 5.5125 rupees. This is the compound interest for the third year. So compound amount will be, that's not required. My question is the difference of the compound interest for the first year and the third year. So CI3 minus CI1 is given as how much? 5.5125 minus 5. That will give you 0.5125. Okay. So now I need to rub the board, so I need the space. So just observe now. So next step I'm going to write after this. Now what we have is, for a sum of 100, the required difference is 0.5125. Then for what sum, difference is 61.5. So let us assume that as per 100 we have got 0.5125. For x, what is the amount? That is 0.615. So what we should do is, we have to do the cross multiplication because it is directly proportional. Okay. So then what happens is, x into 0.5125 is equal to 100 into 61.5. So you solve this, you will get 6150 divided by 0.5125. So when we solve this, the answer has come as 12,000 rupees. That you have to do the calculation properly, you will get the answer 12,000 rupees. So one last question. With this I wind up this video. So the remaining 2 questions you will be solving and from the book itself, and you will be understanding from that. Any doubts we can discuss in the live session. So next video I will be finishing 2B, that is exercise 2B. Okay. Let's see. Example 10 now. During every financial year, the value of the machine depreciates by 10%. So this question has nothing to do with the compound interest, but the logic is similar to compound interest. In compound interest, principal keeps increasing every year, whereas in case of this question, machine's value is decreasing. So instead of adding the principal by some amount, we are going to decrease the value accordingly what they are told. So depreciates by 10%. So here interest is not added, interest is reduced. Okay. So find the original value of the machine which depreciates by 2,250 during the second year. So it is again similar to previous question. We'll assume that as 100 and then calculate what we get, and for what amount this will be 2,250. That we'll see later. Okay. Same as the previous question, but here it is decreasing. So let the value of machine in the beginning be 100. Okay. So at the end of the first year, it reduces by 10%. That is 10% of 100 is 10 rupees. So value of the machine at the end of the first year is 100 minus 10, which is 90 rupees. Okay. So at the end of the second year, it will be reduced by 90 minus 10% of 90, which is 90 minus 9, 81 rupees. Okay. So that means, what is the amount reduced? At the end of second year, the depreciation is 9 rupees for 100. Therefore, same depreciation is 2,250 rupees for X amount. Then what will you do? We cross multiply. So X is equal to X into 9 is equal to 100 into 2,250. So 9 ones are 9. 2s are 18, 9 5s are 45. So X is equal to 250 into 100, which is going to be 25,000. Okay. So that is the value of the machine. So question number 11 and 12 is left to you. So remember that. So that is your assignment. So let's go to next exercise in the next video. So this is third part, remember. So I have done 3 videos in this chapter already. So remaining 3 videos will be finishing this chapter. Then we'll be going to the third chapter. Okay. So we'll wind up. Thank you.